Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up your first Litecoin mining rig, the website you need to go to, the software you need to get. What you're looking at on the screen right now is a folder that I will be zipping up and uploading to one of my servers so that you can have all of these things right in front of you. You can download and get right to it so you don't have to go find these things individually. Keep in mind, when you get this zip file, you have to unzip it, extract the contents of it to your desktop or wherever. But the first thing you have to understand is this is really for somebody who has a computer, also going to be known as a mining rig. And what makes it a mining rig is ATI's, Radeon video cards. The best one right now, bang for your buck, is the 7950 model. And you can get them if you get a motherboard that has 2 or 3 PCIe slots. For 4 graphics cards, you could get 3 of them or 2 of them, that kind of thing. Do not get a GeForce NVIDIA card. They just do not work anywhere even close as well for doing this. They're terribly slow compared to what the Radeons can do as far as mining. So this video assumes you have a computer with at least one video card that is a Radeon. It doesn't have to be a 7950, but bang for your buck, power-wise, that's the one you want. So the first thing you have to do is, normally I would tell you to download Litecoin. I'd tell you to get this MSI Afterburner. This is the program that overclocks your video card. And although what I'm going to show you is not overclocking the video card and getting good results, and just setting the fan on your video card setting, but you still have to have this. So you have to have Litecoin, you have to have this, and then you're going to have the GUI Miner script version, which is what Litecoin uses. And again, I have them all right here for you, and I've got a little mini README for when you download it, just in case you want to know the steps again. But you're going to go to this website. This is just a picture, obviously, but you're going to go to this website. This is the one I use, coinotron.com, coinotron.com. You're going to click on registration. It's very simple to register. You're then going to click on sign in. You're going to go to your home page, or your My Account usually looks like this. And you're going to see the types of coins. We're not messing with any of these coins right here. We are only messing with Litecoin. This is the one. Now, I've been playing around with this today. I just got started myself, actually yesterday. But I have 2 systems. The way I did it was I have 2 separate computers because I did not have a motherboard that had 2 slots for video cards, but I got quite a few computers actually, so I just ended up doing it this way. It's not the most power-friendly way of doing it, but I've got 2 separate computers with 2 separate video cards. They are both 7950s. When you look on this screen, once you're set up, you're going to see your stats here of what's happening. This 728, I think it's kilohash or whatever K8 stands for, how many hashes per second it's trying to calculate. You're going to see these change. Sometimes this top one's more powerful than the bottom one. It's just no rhyme or reason. Up here at the top where it says hash rate, this is the overall hash rate for my user account, which is both of these combined. Now I know you see this third one here, 0. That was a test that I just set up, so it's not doing anything. But when you get on this screen, the first thing you need to do is, obviously this is my username, jsnip4. This is always going to be here. So whatever username you signed up with on this coinotron.com is going to be right here. So then you're going to click here and then type, for example, as you can see below here, the ones that I'm using are LTC, which stands for Litecoin, Litecoin Worker 1, Litecoin Worker 2. You don't have to put that. You could just put Worker 1, Worker 2, something like that. Doesn't matter. But once you put it in here, you create a password. And honestly, you can use the same exact password. It doesn't have to be anything like super powerful. But just put just an average password. And I think the site does not like when you put special characters in, like an exclamation point or something like that. So just use, digits, alphabetical, alphanumeric, not ABC 1 2 3, something easy. But obviously, you can use capital letters, lowercase letters, and then maybe 2 or 3, 4 numbers. That's sufficient. Once you do that, if you have one computer, even if it has 2 or 3 video cards in it, if it's one system, you're going to click add here to create that new account, that new worker. If you have a whole nother computer that has its own internet connection, in other words, a separate entity, that has 1, 2, 3, whatever video cards in it, you're going to create another worker. So for each computer system you have that has video cards in it, you're going to create a worker. Me, I have 2 computers with 1 video card in each of them, but I still have 2 of them, so I had to create 2 workers. So this is what it looks like. And the password is normally shown here, which is why I blocked it out. Now up here, you have to type in your payout address. So you have to get a payout address first. At the same time, this particular website, minimum is 5. You have to have accumulated 5 Litecoins before they'll give you a payout. And they do a payout, apparently, I think, every hour. So I just set it to 6. So when I accumulate, and it tells you here estimated coins a day, I'm going to get basically 0.8, so 0.8 of a coin per day. So this is going to take me probably, 8 or 9 days to accumulate 6 coins. And then once I do that, they will be sent to my address. So we have to figure out how do I get the address, and not only that, how do I get mining so that this happens down here. So the next step is you're going to install the Litecoin software, which is this one, Litecoin. Once it comes up, down here it's going to tell you that it's updating and syncing, and this could take a few hours because it has to sync with every single transaction that has ever happened since Litecoin came into existence. Once it's done, it's fine. It's up to date. It's kind of like a peer-to-peer file transfer system, like back in the day when you had Napster and stuff, kind of. Here, I have my new address. I'm on the Receive tab, by the way. Normally, it's on the Overview or the Home. Send. If I want to send someone some Litecoins, I can put in their special address here and hit send, and then I'll send to them. How much do I want to send them? This amount, whatever. Receive Litecoins. This lets you know, and this is, I just gave this label a name, coinotron.com, and then the address, which was already here for me. I right-click this. You can right-click anywhere and hit copy address because we want this address. You then go back to the website, Coinotron. Okay, that's not the right site. Sorry about that. And paste it right here, right where I'm clicking. You're going to right-click and then hit paste. That's going to be that special key. That lets this site know once you've accumulated, again, 6 Litecoins, then it's going to send it to your wallet. And your wallet is, in fact, this Litecoin system here. This second one, my new address, I was just testing to see what would happen. I don't use this at all, so don't even pretend you see this. It doesn't even matter. You only need one for the most part. So this is where you send and receive. And if anyone was, if you had a PayPal thing, you could say send donations to my Litecoin address, and then you could, put this in there. And then Litecoins that people would send would go here, just for example. So once this is set up, that's it. That's pretty much done. The next thing you need to concentrate on is this MSI Afterburner, as well as the GUI miner script. Now, again, after you do Litecoin, you still need to install this MSI Afterburner, and you also need to, you don't really install this. All you're doing, because this is part of the zip file I sent you, you just need to keep this, say, on your desktop or something. Once you go into this, you see all these files. There's only one program in here that actually does anything, and that's the main program, GUI Miner. If you want to right-click it and do like a send to desktop, then you'll have this on your desktop, so you don't have to actually go in here and click it. But ultimately, this right here is the MSI Afterburner, and this is that GUI Miner, which is this folder up here. So once I click it, this is what you want it to look like. Now remember back on when we set the Coinotron website up, we had these workers we created. So right here it tells you the name, jsnip4 period or dot, jsnip4 dot LTC worker 1. So here, excuse me, go back to this one too. You can see host is coinotron.com. You do not put www. You just keep it the way it is right here. The port is 3334 for Litecoin here. The username, again, you can see it, jsnip4.ltcworker1. This is the names down here on the website. And then the password is the same passwords I used right here. Okay, so what I found playing with this thing all day is people like to overclock. Now, let me stop for a second and tell you that this MSI Afterburner, I'm actually on a GeForce video card, as you can see here on the left. The same video card I said don't use it. But this computer that I'm doing this video on right now is not my mining rig. It is just another computer I have. So that's why it says GeForce here. Normally yours is going to say MSI, and if it doesn't, you just click the down arrow and you'll see it right there. Your not MSI, but your video card. You're going to see it. You choose it. But the settings here are what I actually use on the mining rig. Vectors 1, GPO threads 1, use stratum, yes. Intensity can go up to 20, I believe, as it says here. But I noticed that when I set this to 20, all these numbers here is what you should have also. 16384 is just a good thread concurrency that works good for the two cards I got. Video cards. When I set this to 20 intensity, your hash rate does increase and it's better. Therefore, you can make more Litecoins quicker. But the GPU temperature of your processor on the video card starts going up significantly. And mine was climbing up to 87 degrees Celsius, which is really too hot for my liking. Some people say that they've been running them for a year to 2 years on 85 degrees and never had any problems. Other people will tell you that that's just too hot. Me personally, that does bother me. That's pretty hot. I like to keep mine around 80 Celsius. So I found out, just from my setup, intensity of 18 gave me that 80 degree approximately Celsius temperature. I was satisfied with that. So both of my computer systems, which are different cases, different motherboards, different processors as a matter of fact, have the same exact video card, which is the Radeon 7950 made by XFX. Doesn't matter which brand, I tell you the truth, which sub-brand. It's just, as long as it's a Radeon 7950, go get the thing. But I hear a lot of people say they like the Sapphires the best for whatever reason. But anyways, that's what you're going to have. Now, you're not going to click Start just yet. First of all, you're going to hit File, Save Settings. And then it's going to save this so that this setting is always here. So that when your computer, if you have to restart it or whatever, turn it back on, you got to open this program again and then click Start. The settings are already here as long as this is loaded, which it should because it's the default one. So over here, you can in fact overclock. And the odd thing is, even though this is made by MSI for, technically for Radeon cards, I guess this thing works for GeForce cards as well because it did come up. And I can actually overclock my GeForce card here, but I'm not going to. What I'm telling you is that I played with the overclock settings all day today, and I found that not even overclocking it, leaving all the clock's speeds, the core clock default, this power limit, which doesn't show on this card, but on my Radeon it does. I left it default. Everything was default. Just left it alone. All that I did was I unclicked auto here for the fan, so you see it turn off. I set this thing all the way to 100. Once you set it to 100, make sure that auto's off, of course. You're going to hit Apply, and immediately you're going to hear your fans kick on. Then click Save, and then it'll start flashing. Where do you want to save it? Save it to Profile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to, again, turn auto off, turn the speed all the way up to 100, click Apply. You're going to hear your fans going off. Then click Save, and then pick a profile, which obviously I just would choose one. And then I would also check this box right here, this button. Apply overclock at system startup. That means when your system reboots, this profile should load automatically, which means your fan should kick on full speed, basically, because we're not going to overclock on this video. Now that that's ready and your fan's kicked into high gear, then you can come over here and click Start. You will see right here where it says stopped, it'll start telling you your hash rate very soon after. And if you have the 7950, one of those cards, you should be seeing in the 500 and something range to sometimes in the 600 and something range, and sometimes higher. On the left side, I can't remember what it says, but it says something like something that are issued to you. Basically blocks of the code they want you to crack, which is basically what this is doing, is cracking a code, the Bitcoin or the Litecoin code. And it issues you a whole bunch of these blocks or something like that. I don't know the exact term because I can't do it right now. But sometimes it says 0. And you just have to wait and it'll finally come up. and then start showing you 2 are issued, 6 are issued, 8, 10, 12, dozens. There's no telling what you'll have. It could be a few hundred even. Doesn't really matter as long as this thing is going. Once you've clicked start and this thing is going, you're pretty much not going to touch that computer because it is going to take all the power of that computer strictly for mining Litecoins. So you're pretty much going to leave it alone. Let it run. You can then go back to your website here, coinotron.com, log in, click on log in. This page comes up. You will then see right down here, and it may take you a couple minutes if you just click start, because this page does not update for 2 to 3 minutes. So you have to wait a few minutes before you see any results. But then you will see speeds like this. You can see one of mine. Again, these are 2 separate computers. And to be honest with you, this computer here, the second one, which looks like it's awesome, has less RAM than this computer, has a significantly lesser processor than this computer, but has the same exact video card. And I can hit refresh on this page, and sometimes you'll come back, and this top number will be higher than the bottom number. This may be 600 something, this may be 400 or 500 something. It just bounces around. There's no rhyme or reason per se. It just happens. But by God, if you've got a 7950 video card, you should never see anything really lower than what you're seeing here. I have seen it a couple times, but then it bounces right back up. But if it's like every time you go and check, it's lower than what you see here as far as the 475, you have got to at least be in the 500s minimum. And yes, you can play around with overclocking the video card if you would like, but that's, of course, up to you. I just don't like abusing mine too much. And again, with that one setting at 18, here, intensity, man, I'm at 80 degrees Celsius, and I haven't even started overclocking yet. So I just kind of left it alone for now, but I may play around with it. So this is basically it. Once you do this, you are now mining Litecoins. So the next thing is, well, what happens when I have a Litecoin and I want to get rid of it? Because you can't really sell it exactly. And you have to kind of convert them into Bitcoins, and then the Bitcoins you can sell on some exchanges and things like that. But from what everybody says, they like this website, btc-e.com. And this is what it looks like. Again, btc-e.com. And you can click on create an account, sign in. Once you create an account, you can click on some of your settings, and basically you'll be putting in your code, your secret ID thing, so that it knows, hang on, like the one that's here, or the one that's on the Bitcoin, or excuse me, Litecoin software here, so that it knows where to send to and from. And you can also click on trade, and right here, for example, you could put, if I had 6 Litecoins, I could put 6 and then hit sell Litecoins. I believe, I'm not 100% sure because I have not done this yet. Again, I'm brand new at this, but I'm just saving you guys a lot of time since you're probably going to be brand new too. So I can't tell you what happens or how this exactly works. But I know if you sell a certain amount, I don't know if you can tap into this money on this website, or this is $235 here worth of US dollars that could go towards a Bitcoin. So in other words, I probably wouldn't, if Bitcoins are $900, I would accumulate enough Litecoins first to, let's say I needed 30 Bitcoins or whatever, 25 Bitcoins to buy Litecoins. Let's say I need 25 Litecoins in my possession, sell it, hit sell, and then I have $983, not really US dollars, but it's in this account on this website, so to speak. And then I can trade it for, in other words, I'll go out and hit buy. I'll click over here on the Bitcoin chart and then hit buy, one, in other words, one buy order, and hit buy. And now I have a Bitcoin in my possession. Then I could go to a place like MTGOX. I believe if you set up an account here, you can, in fact, trade Bitcoins into cash. But you have to set up another account here. So there's another step process. I have signed up for that MTGOX, but I have not, I guess I don't know if I've been approved yet. It takes like 5 or 6 days for them to look over because you gotta scan your license, you've got to scan a bill with your address on it so that they can prove you are who you say you are in order to sign up to Mt. Gox. But once you do, then you can actually literally sell your Bitcoin for cash. So I think it's kind of a 2 or 3 step process, but it can be done. So I hope this video helped. Take care.